As ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be chatting briefly here. This is okay handling complaints on different price reduction in school fees. Okay, Ugandan school fees, Kenyan school fees. We're gonna be talking about that. But right now, let's tackle this area here, which are basic. Okay. I got email there, of course. There you can see there's how to get Vision Desk software questions answered. Okay, here we go. Yes, and then of course we have more than 100 employees. We're gonna set payroll. Okay, and then yeah, there's the postal code there, and then that is of course my email there, and then that is the name correct, and then the telephone number is correct. Okay, that's one is answered. Okay, and then we close there. We go check on the link outsourcing. You can say yes, of course, for 100 employees. This is also payrolls. Then that's correct. Then the email is correct. The username is correct. That's correct. Okay. Then we also close the second one. And then we go to the third, which is accountants. Okay. Check with the accountants. Yes. Yes. And then yes. And then today that's correct here. And then of course my email is correct. The username is correct. The telephone is correct. Okay, that is that. We close that one there. We go to the fourth. You want Excel sheet for adjusting our payrolls. Okay, yes. Then we have more than 100. Yes. This is of course yes. Then that's correct. Is also correct. Confirmed. This is correct. Is correct. And then we close that one there also. Then we go to the fifth, to the fourth one. Okay, I mean to the fifth. So this is basically correct. Correct. And then correct. 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 And then we go to the last but not the least. That's the least but not the last question. Okay. So that's correct. This is also correct. And then of course correct. Of course correct. 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 Okay. And then now we go exactly to others. Okay. Last one, which is this one here. Okay. 100. Yep. And then yeah, so That is that. Okay, so we close all that, and then we close that one. Then we have here we have this one here. Cases to do with the that, and then we also have what they call this one this complaint of the systems which is affecting us guys, especially we who are using the YouTubes. Okay, someone complained here from Toronto to me, and then want me to give feedbacks why how they affected the indirectly their computers, how their computer system is hacked. Okay, how why they are running very slow is on slow speeds. Okay, they complain here their computer doesn't work very fast. Everything in their homes is very slow computers, and then they are overpaying for this one for this one for the internet. Okay, that they're overpaying for internet service. So some people says they are paying less than $10, and then everything is very slow. The guy is there who complained here to me, and then I cannot really understand this complaint very much from him, but I just write and then I attach my different videos which I've been working here, attached to him, and then explaining to them exactly what is happening. So their complaint is not similar to mine, but that is a different complaint which I'm very green about it. I really don't know how that's come from. Okay, so if we look here exactly, okay, if we look here, that is paying school fees, Ugandan primary living examinations. Okay, in primary schools, the school is free. That is a private school. The fee is payable. Then you may find some primary schools such as owned by refugees. They are paying private schools. They are paying 200 shillings. Okay, 200 shillings, and then it is a co-op, as co-op by Unhcr, and then GRS. Okay, as GRS Uganda, UN Uganda. Okay, by child, they are paying 200 shillings. If it come to let them donate money to come to schools, to afford other things, and then other things to improve the schools, to improve facilities in the schools. And then private schools, the refugees, of course, they're starting from 5,000 Ugandan shillings. Okay, that is the citizens owned. Okay, Ugandan citizens owned. Okay, and in refugees, the citizens who cannot afford $5,000, they normally come to the refugees, and then they don't ask them for money as well. And the refugees also, they do go to these private schools owned by citizens. They don't ask them. They treat them the same. Okay, per terms plans, long terms, as you wanna pay, and then you wanna pay. Okay, their ability to go back to schools and then to resume the schools. That's the fee we know. My parents, they've been paying to my schools, and then to facilitate everything in my schools. I used to pay 200 shillings, and then 200 shillings per terms. Okay, or per request. Okay, because they know the local liquors we can also talk about there in the future. Right now, okay, refugees secondary schools, from 1, from 4s, and then the one terms they are paying 10,000 as a co-op by JRS and UNSR. Okay, that is a co-op. Basically, refugees students, they do normal chop their money, and then they are paying $10. They chop it also for citizens. They are paying 10,000 a year. Okay, uniform and shirts, t-shirts, pant. Okay, Then the underwears and those things, school bags, maybe 5,000 you pay for those ones. You get it from your market, but your parents can get you that with you. So available also dalalas, those things you can get them dalala. Okay, for citizens, normally the school fees is 15,000. Okay, the school fees is normally 15,000, the most highest. That's when they call it private schools. When they raise the fee of the school uniform, they put 5,000 on the 10,000. They become how much? 15,000. That's when they call it a citizen's fee. Okay, you have to pay a citizen fee of 15,000 to get your school uniform and then to get your school fee paid for that particular terms. If it come to you did not pay for a year, they keep asking, and then the fee goes to 45,000 to 40,000 or to 30,000 or to 35,000 you have to pay. So because there are some other charges which they normally do deduct. And then from 6, from 5, and then from 4, examination fee is 25,000. Entry levels is 15,000, and then uniform is 5,000, which is a 20,000, sometimes 15,000. So per year that is roughly 30,000 or 35,000. Okay, a total a year that is Uganda shillings 30,000 to 45,000. Boarding schools and day schools. If in Kakuma, Kenya, and then the school fee is 20 Kenyan shillings. Both citizens and refugees, and then secondary from 1, from 4. Uh, that is no answer actually. Roughly, let's say 100 Kenyan shillings. Exams is 80 Kenyan shillings. It still is hard for some students. Okay, GRS do pay because the GRS and Unhcr, LWF, IOMS, they do pay it, and then they do co-ops, and then the fees, and then they do free also studies, including abroad studies for free for some schools there. They chop the schools fees for both citizens and the refugees, except boarding schools. The fee plus charges they are there. If Kakuma does is in Kakuma day schools, and then Kakuma secondary schools, day schools, I think that is basically day schools. Okay, if what we see here, that is a concern of the school fee in what in Africa. When I was in the schools, how much my parents they are paying for that particular schools I have. Okay, for me to have a school bags like this to take them to schools, with me to put my books inside there and then write till to the end of the date and then come back home. Okay, so so let's see. If we look here, this is roughly about Zawadi restaurants. Okay, Zawadi restaurant. If we talk of cooked meats, that is Uganda shillings 800. Cooked pork is 500. Okay, milk and then mandazi, chapati, that is 200 Ugandan shillings. Maybe one chapati 100, and then the one milk cup of milk 100. That is 200 or 300. Okay, if the hotel is expensive, of course, what is expensive hotels, you may find some people go from here, they sleep there in those hotels, and then Ugandan shillings 300, as we said, dodo, Ugandan shillings 700. Okay, modern lodge, and then cook meats, soda 1000. Okay, dodo 800, tea 200 with the escorts, milk 300 with the escort, cook pork 600, 700, 800, depends. Secondary eats, okay, if there's a secondary eats, they are a little bit classicals, okay, starting from 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1000. If you are traveling, 1000 if you are traveling. That is very classical foods, okay. So if a guy is fooling you, they're telling you bring condition, the food is 18,000 10,000s. They want to travel with that money of yours to another country. They are just fooling your dollars because their name is a dollar over that country. They are very not themselves. I think they have mental illness on them. Okay, if we talk of Ugandan local restaurants, bar, local alcohol drinks, and then we will calculate that here. Local alcohol drinks. Okay, uh, hold on. Yeah, local alcohol drinks. We will come with that. Okay, and then we will see what to do. And then live chickens. That's is 1,000s. And then anyoi, which they're saying cereal now, and then with the marangba, and then that's 200. Okay, dry fish for 400, and then dry tea cups. Okay, 100. Okay, milk hot cooled 200 per cups, and then of course beef 400, and then 1 kilogram of beef 600. Okay, which they are selling. Okay, live box that is 5,000. Okay, if it's live, it's very live and young and growing pork, pig. Okay, so 1 kilograms of pig is 400, 300, and then the pork meat 400, 500, 300, 600, it depends. Okay, some beef 1 kilograms you may find is 1,000 or less than 1,000, because if the sun is now setting, and then what do you expect? The price must be 600. Therefore, for those kind of beef, because they're already going out of market. So whole chicken live 1,000 logos. Okay, 1 kilogram of beef 800. 1 kilogram of goat meat 400. One whole goats 8,000. One whole sheep 7,500. One whole pig 17,000. That is roughly 5,000. Whole pig. Okay, live. Whole pig live. Okay, so and then if we see here on the back here, of course, that is the secondary eating price daily. Kenyan selling 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, that is Kenyan secondary eating levels. Okay, 17 Kenyan shillings, which they may spend there in the market or in the restaurants. Okay, to eat. Okay, if in the market that is a different thing, the price there is a different thing, but this is restaurants. Okay, secondary sodas, quincha, breads, mandazi, and then chapati, ugali, beef, fish, sukuma. Okay, and then that is since 1993, and then Kakuma, Kenya, Ethiopian restaurants, food price, and then Nairobi, Kitale, Eldoret, Nakuru. Okay, and then the video, you can watch a video, rent a video, 5 Kenyan shillings. Live TV is actually 10 Kenyan shillings in Kakuma. Okay, if you go to this one, the samagi fish, dry and fresh samagis, 8 Kenyan shillings, of course, per plate. Okay, cooked beef, that is 9 or 7 Kenyan shillings. Okay, braids, 5 pieces, braids, local braids, that is 4 Kenyan shillings. Okay, mandazi, that is 1 mandazi, 4 Kenyan shillings, or with the free 1 teacups. Okay, and then teacups 2 Kenyan shillings. Okay, so they depends. Okay, they depends upon and upon. So that is basically handling this one, the food market price. So let's see here what we're supposed to handle here. Okay, so where did I put my marker pen? Yeah, waragi. Okay, waragi, that is a local alcohol. Okay, if we talk of local alcohol, okay, this is alcohol, of course. Alcohol, one bottle. Okay, one bottle of alcohol. That is roughly, if we see here, that is Ugandan shillings 150. Okay, locally brew to 200. Okay, 200 Ugandan shillings. That is when it's very expensive. And then 10 liter. Okay, you get 10 liters. Okay, 10 liters. 10 liters. That is roughly 1,000. That's really 1,000 or 800. Okay, and then if in Kenya, that is also different topics down there. It's the same. This is Uganda. Okay, that is waragi. Okay, and then locally how they are sold down there. So if you look at this one, the market food. Okay, market food, market food price. Market food price. Okay, this is tilapia. Okay, let's say tilapia fish. Okay, tilapia fish. That is 15 pieces. Okay, 15 pieces. 15 pieces. 15 pieces is roughly that is UG shillings. UG shillings 400. Okay, 15 pieces. UG shillings 400. UG shillings roughly 600. That's when the market is really bad. 600. Okay, eitherly dry. Okay, eitherly dry or fresh, to go. Okay, eitherly dry or fresh. Okay, that is 15 pieces. They are little bit tiny, but how reasonable they looks. I can show you even the size of those tilapia fish. I don't. I really have more times, so I can show you the size of tilapias, how big they looks like. So tilapia fish. So the tilapia fish, like this one here, this kind of tilapia fish, mostly if it come to like this one here, that is roughly 15 pieces. Okay, they used to put 15 pieces like this, 15 pieces, and then that is like this one here, 15 pieces. So if it's like that one there, this one here dry, they are roughly 8. Okay, this is roughly 8 pieces. We go out of that marker pen. This is roughly 8 pieces. 8 pieces. 8 pieces, 7 pieces. 7 pieces. Okay, 7 pieces, 400. That is a 400. If we look at this one, these are a little bit, they look really like this. If in the computer like this, they look big, right? But if they make it, they look like normally like that if they dry it, because that's the size of the meat, right? So those guys, they used to sell like that. So that is 8, that is 7. Okay, Jesua komosi, okay, ubakomosi. Says this, that is whole pack, like they normally put in the pack. Okay, pieces, that is 8 pieces, 7 pieces, 15 pieces, is a different agenda there. 15 pieces is also there, roughly 15,870. So that's how it goes. If it's a kilogram, as I said, kilograms, kilogram, 1 kilograms of beef, that is roughly starting at okay, starting at 400, okay, 400 to 800, 400 to 800, okay, that is that much there. Of course, in Kenya, that is roughly eight, 7 pieces, 7 pieces. That is roughly 37. That is roughly 60. That is roughly 80. That is roughly 130. 130. That is roughly 15 pieces. 15 pieces of tilapia fish. Okay, and then the onion bag, tomatoes, also 8 tomatoes, 7 tomatoes, 15 tomatoes. This is both. Okay, both. Also, you may found the price is 150, 150, and then 150, 300. Okay, 150, 300. That is roughly 15 pieces, 7 pieces, 8 pieces. Uh, Roughly large, big one, big one, one big one, two big one, four big one, five big ones. Okay, if that is five big ones, okay, that is the big ones for tomatoes, onions, and then big ones. In Kenya, that is the price there. You may found that is price there. Uh, Starting roughly three, three, and then you may see 8, you may see 10, and depends. Okay, so that is basically on those kind of price. Otherwise, that is just overview, because someone that was bothered, and then those people, we have maybe administrators, and how those administrators lost the conscious evident which they write down, which is memorizing. They forget it because lack of computers. Every skill of the books written like this was transferred to the computers, and then Africa is lacking charging and other things. So the system may be lost those orders, and then the guy was fired from work. They are no longer working, so it's not easy to retain those memos and then the copyright systems. That's why you may find those guys, they left the real concentrations which they're supposed to run there, because they are pens and books only. They don't write with computers. That's why if I put here computers, we have here chargers going 24/7. We don't lose anything in the city. So those guys, they lost a lot. That's the differences. So if we are here memo, and then their memo, they have to keep their books like this written, their computer system also written. So anytime they lost they lost charging, they regained the power by what they write down. That's what we used to tell them. Okay, so that they will be able to retain the copyright which we've been using in the schools to get that education, so that it won't affect the rest of the peoples, because we see the price there is really really conscious and really dilemma. That is a different things. If you look at this kind of tilapia fish here in Canada, one tilapia fish like this is 80 cents. 80 cents in Canada. One like that is 80 cents. Is a different things. We cannot tell to them, because is a dollar is not a shillings. We are not in dollar country. We are in dollar countries. They are not in dollar countries. They are in shilling countries. That's the differences overview. Otherwise, that's that me there. when Hassan does it on